Yes, Kyle is he does so many great things for us. Not only scoring, the threat of scoring, also facilitating, and also too, Demar has done an excellent job all year of facilitating. We run a lot of pick and roll plays for him. Um, so those are areas where those two can really help us a lot and have helped us a lot during the season. I think they're two combo guards that can do a lot of different things on the offensive end.
Do you like having the extra day off now?
It's a little different, Ryan. It's a little funky because we went live today, but it's one of those things you have to be careful and not leave your game on the practice floor at this time of year. So, but I just felt like going light yesterday and not doing a lot yesterday, coming in today and getting some live work in was huge. The guys were spirited and into it and locked in, but again, we didn't want to leave the game on the court today and worked on our adjustments, things we're going to do differently, things we want to make sure we understand that they're trying to do. So it was good, but again, it's a little bit out of rhythm. You're used to that day off, play, day off. But we'll take it.
Kyle said when he was in here a few minutes back that at the end of the day, it's still basketball. We have to go back, talking with him and DeMar, have to go back to doing what we do best.
Mm-hmm.
When you see what DeMar did all year long and you see what he's doing now, how do you, as a coach, make sense of the difference in the game?
Well, Steve, they're our guys. They're like your kids. You get upset with your kids sometimes. You argue with your kids. You go back and forth. But at the end of the day, they're your guys, and they're our guys. We're gonna ride or die with DeMar and Kyle. Again, they've shot the ball. They haven't shot the ball great, but again, it's still basketball. So we're gonna go with them. They're our star players. They're all stars for a reason. And, we're trying, as a coach and as our staff, we're trying to put them in the best position to be successful. But again, they're our guys. And hopefully, I know our fans are still embracing them and not down on them. And there's a lot of written about the numbers and all that. But at the end of the day, it's a 2-2 series. No one, I don't think, expected this series to be shut out or sweat for us to sweep Indiana. So again, it's going to be hard. Again, everything you do in this league is hard. But at the end of the day, DeMar and Kyle are our guys. I don't care what their numbers say. They're still, to me, two of the best guards in the NBA.
The other guys, the complementary players, that have played such a big part in this series for you guys in games 2 and 3, and for them in game 4. In a series with 3 great players, are you surprised by how much those other guys have factored in, or is that sort of what you expected?
No, when you take away something, you're going to give up something else, and that's kind of been their thing with us. Taking out Kyle and DeMar, it opens up something for someone else, and again, we all have to be ready for that to step in and make plays, make shots, or whatever it is for that person who's open. Because when you commit 2 to Kyle or 2 to DeMar the way they've been doing, it's going to open up something else. So, and vice versa for them. We're working on trying to slow down Paul George, working on slowing down Monte Ellis, which is not an easy proposition. And, Mahimi gets loose in the lane for tip-ins, for easy shots or whatever it is. So, again, for us, Josh, it goes back to our energy level, our intensity, our sense of desperation, and I've been saying this all year. We got to be the hungry team. If we're not the hungry team, if our backs are not against the wall, we don't feel like we've been attacked. We lose that edge a little bit, and we've been preaching it. And I don't know if it's human nature, but we didn't come out with that same edge. I'm looking at flagrant fouls. Jonas Valanciunas gets cracked across the head. And again, I've got to get an understanding, and the officials didn't review it, but they were hitting us and going through the lane, and DeMar DeRozan shoots 0 free throws with the same drive. So again, they were the more physical team. We've got to adjust the way the officials are calling. If they're not calling those plays, we've got to adjust and play that way. Those are the things that I thought was a difference, more than schemes, more than talent, more than anything else. That sense of desperation, I didn't think was there on Saturday.
Dwane, what did you see from Mahimi and Hill that
Well, one, Mahimi was playing, Jonas was coming, in a scheme that we have into help. And Mahimi was getting free on the boards behind him, ducking in, sealing him. One play he drove on Biz and got to the rim, but a lot of it was playing off of JV coming across to help. And so we've got to adjust that, how far JV comes over, how far he gets off his body to come over and leave him open. With Hill, I thought he had one of his best games I've seen in a while, shooting the ball, driving the ball, attacking Kalo and Corey in pick and roll situations, making plays. And then again, when you commit people to Paul George, somebody's open, and we didn't do a good job of getting to him in the corner for his shot. And so that's what we worked on today. We to try to correct that and to get someone to him a little bit quicker.
You and Kyle both talked about making adjustments. Given the wide range of results in this series, has this series been more of a chess game than normal, or does it just come down to guys?
Well, there's the little subtle things that they're doing, how they're getting guys shots, what they're doing to create those situations that we see that we are adjusting to. And there's things that we've done that they've adjusted to. So it has been subtly. It's not like it's been huge. They started. Miles Turner's probably the most obvious adjustment that they made. But there's different things that they're doing on their pick and roll coverages that we see. That we've got to adjust to coming into this game. We tried to do that in the second half of last game, but there's little subtle things that are going back and forth in each series that they're doing and we're doing.
Dwane, the first 3 games, Jonas played very well for you. I mean, arguably did in Game 4 in terms of leading and scoring, but yet it seems like Indiana took away some of his effectiveness. How important is he, one, and how important is it to try and get him going?
Huge. It's very important, Eric, in the fact that, one, he's got to establish deep post position. I mean, and for whatever reason, Mahimi was pushing him, getting him off his sweet spot. And again, Jonas can't allow him to do that. And he hadn't been, but for whatever reason, in Game 4, he did. And Jonas can't allow that. You got to adjust the way the officials are calling it. If they're going to, allow you to push him, you got to fight for that space, fight for that spot. And I don't think he did that as good a job as he has been doing on Saturday. And he'll do a better job tomorrow night with that. But he's very important because he's a guy that we can throw the ball down to when things get frenetic, which I thought they did. When we tried to turn up the intensity, which, toward the end of the game, we should have been doing that at the beginning of the game, but I thought we got a little out of character, out of, more frenetic in that situation where we had 7 or 8 possessions to cut the lead in and didn't. We should have been going inside more to JV, to Jonas in those situations, and we can do that when things get a little helter-skelter.
Their change, them starting Miles Turner, did that affect the rebounding totals? It's the first time he got out-rebounded. Jonas was held to 6 rebounds.
Well, again, when they went small, we went smaller, trying to get scoring in. It was the first time we tried to make the adjustment with Pat in there. It didn't, it was an adjustment that didn't go well rebounding-wise. But I think they only had one offensive board in that little short stint that we looked at that. Again, some of that was getting off his body, Michael, in help situations. We got to do a better job of reading that, timing that, and then when the shot goes up, get back into the play. So that may be I know that is one of the reasons why there were so many boards. And some of it is just our focus and our intensity of going back and getting the ball.
Sorry, one more.
No, go ahead.
I mean, Scola's going to be a little bit feast or famine shooting-wise. I mean, he's had some amazing months, and some others kind of from 3.
Right.
Do you see, he's 1 of 9 so far, do you see feast or famine coming?
Well, feast or famine, that's the same with all of our guys, right now. The one thing about it, you don't forget how to shoot the basketball. You don't forget that. So my thing is you got to continue to shoot it. If the defense is still closing out, you got plan B to go to, but make a quick decision. Be decisive on whatever you're going to do. Our shooters should shoot the ball. Don't lose that confidence. Nobody in the coaching staff or his teammates have lost confidence, so they've got to shoot it. So, again, he's like some of our guys that have lost their touch a little bit, but again, they haven't forgot how to shoot it. And my advice as from a coaching standpoint is continue to shoot the shots you normally make and that you work on every day.
You said a few times during the year that you didn't have time in the schedule to make big adjustments. I mean, it just didn't allow for that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you now have too much time?
No, Scott, the thing about it, big adjustments are changing defensive schemes or pick and roll schemes, those type of things. I don't think you can make subtle adjustments in a day. I think our players are smart enough to make subtle adjustments to things that we are changing. How far you come over to help, how far you come over into strong or double team the post, those things that are already in place. Maybe how we're guarding a small pick and roll. Those are subtle things you can change, but I don't know of any coach in this league that can make major adjustments. I know it's the so-called buzzword to do in the playoffs is make adjustments, and everybody makes adjustments, but not just gaping, huge adjustments. So it's just not enough time, and again, you don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. As far as changing everything. So, everybody's making adjustments now. And the hard thing is getting up here and talking about it. Because guess what? Guess who's listening? Everybody's listening. So that's the hard thing to do. And, coaches are not going to be honest with you right now. They're going to lie to you big time.
Coach, 4 games in, though, do you feel you've seen most of the adjustments that could come at you, or there are still infinite possibilities?
There's a lot of small adjustments teams can make. How they guard certain situations, how they guard a play, and there's an infinite amount of adjustments you can make during a game, and they may be small. They may be if they jump up on DeMar's top shoulder in a post position, or do they force him middle. I consider all those adjustments of how they play a certain situation, how they guard an elbow screen and roll. Do they switch it? Do they show? Do they go under? And they've done that, and we've done that. We've made subtle adjustments in the game. And they've made adjustments in the game. And again, like he was saying, it's an ongoing chess match. The key is that's where experience comes in, of guys being able to read it on the fly. You wish you had an infinite amount of timeouts to point them out to what they're doing, but you don't. And sometimes you have to yell out there on the fly and tell guys what's going on if they don't see it. But a lot of experienced players see those things. As they're going on. I never forget it when we were in Dallas, Jason Kidd used to huddle guys up, or Dirk would huddle guys up and say, hey, here's what we need to do. And the coaching staff didn't have to say anything. They would make changes out there on the floor themselves. And Kyle does that for our guys. Kyle is one of the smartest guys in the league at doing that. He knows every play that they have. Like, he'll call out what plays they're running. He'll tell our players out on the court, and I love that. I think that's a sign of leadership, of basketball IQ, on a player's part.